Well, hello fellow daydreamers. It has been quite a while since the last time we've seen each other. Today I'm coming to you with something quite different from my usual journaling and scrapbooking content, because I'm planning to host my own Etsy niche, and I thought I could take you along on this adventure. So another hobby of mine that's been accompanying me for a couple of years now is embroidery, and I've tested myself through various projects. I embellished at this point, like, I think 20 pieces of my clothes, my own clothes, and I thought it might be time for the next step. I want to share this practice with more of you guys. At this point, I'm also standing right between my master's degree that I've completed last month and joining the 9-to-5 workforce, or whatever the job market has in store for me. So I really have some time and space for these new creative thoughts, and I just thought I'd go for it. And as I love side questing and new creative endeavors, I thought this might be the perfect combination. I really want to lean more into the whimsy of life, and it would bring me so much more joy if I could share that whimsy a bit with the world, with you guys. So this apparently will be my path to do so. In this way, this video will kind of be like a studio vlog where I show you some of my process, how I embroider things, what I'm starting with, what my first launch will entail this beginning of fall time in September. And hopefully you'll find it interesting, or just a nice rambly video bit to play alongside your own crafts or chores or whatever you do. And it might be interesting for you if you want to know how people start their own Etsy. But let me first show you where I'm at currently. For this first ever shop launch of mine, I wanted to start steadily and with a lot of potential to grow into. As it is my first time doing anything like this, it made sense to mostly use things I already own to minimize my costs. So all of my embroidery floss, felt and tools used in these first couple products, apart from the raw tote bags that you'll get to see in this vlog, I already had ready at home. There will be 2 different products that I'm launching as of now: felt bookmarks made from scratch, as well as embroidered tote bags. As we're getting closer and are craving autumn more and more, I decided to go with an overall bookish theme. In fall, I just want to cuddle up in a cozy blanket and read the days away. As I'm crafting every single item by hand, all by myself, there will be very limited quantities of completely unique products. That is also kind of the point of my shop, as I will explain to you later. Therefore, I settled on 15 bookmarks and 10 tote bags for this first launch somewhere in September. I grouped the bookmarks into groups of 5 as a mini-series to make them even more special and keep a better overview. So as I was crafting, I got the notification in my mail that my new embroidery thread order has just arrived. So this is a little impromptu embroidery floss haul. So I was in need of new, predominantly neutral colors like browns and beiges, as that is what I tended to use up the most recently. So alongside those, I got some more murkier and darker shades for autumn to come, as I'm already planning my second collection that should launch somewhere in October. I had a combination of things I wanted to order, and I wanted to try different brands of floss. Should have scissors. Some of these more murky shades. The handy thing is that they came with bobbins that I can wrap them on. And those are the more murkier shades of neutrals that I got. They're from the brand Iroh. So I'll see how these are. They feel pretty soft and they have a little sheen to them, which I find pretty. Then I got also these from Iroh. So we have these shades, which also have some nice neutrals, and I love this green. And this one screams autumn. Oh yeah, they're so pretty. I love this red. Massive pack with 100 colors. 100 colors in them, and they also have more needles, as just last week I lost one of my 2 only embroidery needles, so that was very needed. This thread also looks decent. We have like every color imaginable, But we also have nice brown shades that I need. This brand would be Noah Home Deco. Let's organize all of these. I'm currently working on embroidering more of the tote bags. This one is a dopamine core book with the simple quote, "Choose living," on it. And I'm stitching the word living right now. After that, there are just a few decor stitches left. To be more precise, when stitching, I sketch out my designs beforehand with one of those handy pilot pens that are sensitive to heat. This way I can erase the pen strokes with a hairdryer after the embroidery is complete. I've chosen this craft in way of slow stitching just a few very unique pieces per shop launch to counteract the ever-present AI obsession of today's society. Getting through my master's degree completely with my own mind and hard work, but still subtly being accused of having used ChatGPT and then having to affirm that I didn't really feels like modern witch trials. Now, trying to navigate the job market, it is even more apparent just how many companies and employers value artificial intelligence over authentic, true human knowledge and experience. So, in a way, this little shop will be my own way of protesting against that notion and enforcing the value and joy of true, authentic crafts made by a human being. You for sure don't have to buy from me or any craftsperson to align with this mindset, but if videos and content like this entertains and maybe even inspires you to hone your own creative muse, that is success enough for me. At this point in time, my Etsy niche will be an experiment, a side quest, a creative passion of mine manifested in a few slow handcrafted items. Real physical products that one can touch and feel and witness their process of becoming, rather than a singular sentence prompt projecting an artificial image out of thin air and lots of drinking water. So let me show you what I've already created. Once I finish stitching something, I put it in this gold box. It's like my treasure chest. Once this box is full, I can like launch the shop, basically. The first thing that I completed was one of the bookmarks series. So 5 bookmarks is one series, as I've explained before. And the first ones that I did were my keys, the key series, and those are these here, my keys. So each of these bookmarks is made out of felt, so very flexible, won't hurt your book. It is hand embroidered. I've also used some metallic thread to make them more shiny, as most keys are metallic. And I've also added tassels with stones on them. I'll make sure to write down what stones I use to each one so that you know and what they mean. Yes. So I've made 2 silver keys, these 2. I've made 2 gold, those, and 1 copper key. Those will be launching in September in my shop on Etsy. So I chose keys because they're a practical object, but even though they're like, we really use them, they somehow hold magic for me because they keep things safe, or they lock things away, or they open your doors to new adventures, maybe in your books as well. So I also think they're really pretty. So yeah, this is my first series. The second series I completed for my bookmarks was a magical weapons series. So I got to geek out quite a bit. So those are those. Here I've chosen less neutral colors, neutral warm colors, rather these jewel tones with the contrasting lighter embroidery upon it. And again, the tassels of the stones. And we have a warhammer, a dagger, a greatsword, one of my staples back in my Monster Hunter days, a bow, and a magic wand, magic staff, I'd say. These ones I think still tie into the bookish theme, as in the genre I like to read most, so like fantasy and romantasy books. The protagonist often gets to learn how to fight or defend themselves, and that is often connected to like weaponry. These could also aid you on your reading journey. So for my third series, the one that will be about feathers, I've already done the sketches for all of those, and you will see the process of making those 5 remaining bookmarks for my collection in this vlog. And the last thing that I did is like half of the amount of the tote bags that I want to release. So I've embroidered 5 out of 10 tote bags that should launch with my shop. And they're all also bookish themed. And some of them will be more neutral, but I've had to order that thread, as you know. And so I started with the more dopamine core colorful options or variants. We have this one, which is a book row, where you need to be a little bit creative with finding the quote, because I incorporated be you, do you, for you. Then we have this pile of books here that says read more books. That's very fitting. Then this one with Once Upon a Time. And then we have this one. This was the first tote bag I did of Choose Happiness, read upon it. I'm right now embroidering the sister variant to this one with Choose Living, as you've seen. And then we also have this one with Worry Less and Read More. And they will all go back into my treasure chest to keep them from harm, like from dust mostly, or cat hairs maybe. I'm just now getting to work on the last bookmark series for the shop launch, the Feather series. I've chosen 3 colors of felt and corresponding embroidery and macrame thread. After cutting out the right shape and combining the colors, I sketch the different feather shapes onto the front side and start stitching. To give the imagery more dimension, I like adding some of my shiny macrame thread, looping it through the existing stitches. I've also already learned that it is way easier for me to go through the different crafting stages with all 5 products at once. So after I stitch all of the designs, I get to make 5 tassels all at once and can then stitch all of the fronts and backs together in one go. So it has been a full week since the intro that I filmed, and starting with the 2 major things that I embroidered in the beginning of the week are 2 of the tote bags that I'm going to release on Shop Launch. The first one I did is this Choose Living bookish tote in that nice, colorful dopamine core style of thread. So I still need to put those 2 to the hairdryer to get rid of the pink pen marks, but those should vanish instantly. And I'm also trying to get out most of the wrinkles, which is a bit hard because tote bags like to wrinkle, but I think they're also allowed to wrinkle. So the second design was this open book one, Happily Ever After. It's like the sister design to the Once Upon a Time one that I showed you earlier. 7 tote bags done and 3 to go once I return from a holiday. And toward the middle and end of the week, I did the remaining and 3rd mini series of my bookmarks, and this one was feather themed. So you saw me stitch some of this, and I just finished it with tassels, again with some stones on them. They have a similar color story amongst them with the brown, beige and blue. Also in the thread and in the tassels and the backing. So those are the feather bookmarks. Uniquely hand embroidered. What I also did this week is film this video for you guys to introduce you to my shop idea, and I also did some still secretive ideating for my next shop launch that will be approximately in the middle of October, hopefully. Yeah, stay tuned for that. I got some fun product ideas and themes planned. And if you like this kind of content, please subscribe or visit my Etsy shop. The link to that one will be posted in the video description. I'll leave you to it. Bye!